Hello there, and welcome to our Eat Well video series where we introduce healthy eating habits one bite at a time. I'm Dr. Atkin, and today's all about introductions. You're going to learn a little bit about me, a little bit about my family, and a whole lot about what to expect in this video series. Many of you may already know me. I'm a chiropractor and master herbalist out in Holly Springs, North Carolina, and I'm absolutely passionate about what I do. I do a lot of speaking to businesses and community groups. I have a lot of workshops for my patients, and of all the healthy lifestyle workshops that we do, my most popular one is our Eat Well workshop. And there's been people throughout the country who have wanted to learn a little bit more about what we do, and it's fun to talk to them about it, but I've always wanted more of a video series, and so this is what I'm in the process of creating. Now, just to give you a little bit of a background on myself, I grew up out in Colorado, third of 8 children, and we lived on a farm, so we always had a nice garden, ate nice fresh fruits and vegetables, but we were a big family, and my dad was a teacher, so beyond what we could grow out of our garden or get out of our field, we ate a lot of inexpensive foods. My parents certainly doing the best that they could along the way with that, but it was kind of a little bit of a standard American diet. Didn't necessarily learn the perfect eating habits, but we did well. Now, I got married to my wife, Rachel. She grew up in the middle of Salt Lake City, and she grew up probably more on the standard American diet, where they ate a lot of processed foods. She'll kind of be able to talk to her about her journey, but the only reason I bring this up is that as we talk about our eating journey, we probably come from a pretty typical and traditional background. Our parents did the best they could, but we probably didn't have the greatest eating habits coming up, and so part of what we get to share with you is how we transition from maybe some more standard stuff to what we would consider a much more healthy diet. In fact, when we got married, life kind of continued. We were poor college students, and we ate poor college foods, and we had our first 2 children, and they started off much on a similar path. Well, when I got my bachelor's degree and moved on to chiropractic school, I started getting turned towards much more natural way of eating and healthy living. In fact, I started studying to get my master's degree in herbology. I studied with Dr. Christopher in the School of Natural Healing, and a really big part of his programs, as he talked about herbs and natural remedies, was just talking about diet in general. And as you well know, when it comes to the recommendations that I make to my patients or some of the suggestions I make to those people around me, I'm not going to be talking about things that I haven't experienced. And so Rachel and I knew that if we were going to be talking about it, we darn well better start living it. And so we started implementing a lot of these principles that we're going to talk about. And that process started just about 10 years ago now. And that process has been a journey as we've learned how to eat for ourselves. My wife will probably share some of her weight loss journey through the process as well too. At that point, our kids were probably, I don't know, maybe 5 years old and 2 or 3 years old, something in that neighborhood. And so they went through a transition as well too. As you take a picky eater into healthier eating, we had 2 more children after that, and they've been raised in a much more healthy eating environment, and we'll be able to share some of those experiences as well too. I never knew that we could have a 3, 4, 5-year-old whose favorite food was salad wraps. But once again, we're going to talk about the step-by-step transition that we made into it. We are not perfect in the way that we eat. I don't have some new diet to introduce you to. We're just going to be talking about making healthy eating a habit and the simple tips and tricks that you can do to make it in a sustainable way. So in these videos, I'm going to pick a topic and we're going to dive into it. I'm probably hoping to keep these around 3 to 5 minutes. I can guarantee some of them will probably end up being 10 minutes. But I've found that perfection gets in the way of just getting things done. So by no means am I looking to have some perfect polished version of each one of these videos. I just look forward to being able to get the content out there. And as you look at this, the biggest key is to start implementing some of these things just a step at a time. As we go throughout it. So I really hope that this can be as interactive as possible. I'll be leaving some contact information so that hopefully you can reach back out to me and we can learn together and grow together. I'd love to be able to learn ideas from you as well too. So I'm excited for this journey, and we'll dive right into the videos now.